All right, everybody, we are back at it again with this beautiful, intimate conversation. I am Dani Tirrell. I am your host. This is Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas. I am just doing some of my, before work stuff. And then we will hopefully bring in our guest really soon. We have the wonderful, beautiful Michele-Dooley. And if you all don't know her, y'all get to know her. She's absolutely beautiful and lovely and all of those things. There she is. I'm going to bring her in a second once I do this stuff because y'all know I'm not good at technology. I think I got it right. Hey, I think I got it right. And waiting for them to join us. Slow start today. There she is. Hello, Michele.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing very well today. How are you?
I am good. I am just trying to do my little stuff to add some information in. Um, and then we're going to get started with this beautiful, wonderful conversation. Um, are you back in Seattle?
Yes.
Yes. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that other stuff in a second. Y'all, I am moving real slow today,
Oh, it's fine. Take your time.
but it's going to be all right.
It sure is. Oh, thank you.
There, that's what I wanted to do. All right, everybody. I think I can get started now while I move this real slow. Let's start with our land acknowledgement and then I'll move forward. We at Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas would like to acknowledge that we are on the land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, both past and present, and we honor them with gratitude and the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. We acknowledge that we are on the land that is stolen from the traditional home of the coastal Salish people. The Duwamish ancestors were killed, brutalized, and stripped of their humanity. We lift up their work. We hold their pain and their joy as we honor them with our work today. We also know that we are people that come from enslaved African people that endured countless acts of torture and humiliation both during and after the Middle Passage. We bring into this space the thousands of Africans that did not make it to see this land. The work we do today is on the backs and shoulders of the original people of this land and our ancestors who now guide us. With this, we sit in this place to honor people, African people and their descendants, and to give back to the original people of this land. To our ancestors, we thank you, we see you, we invite you into this space, and we lift up your names, and we honor the work that you have done. Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas is a nonprofit organization solely dedicated to presenting emerging Black art, artists, and ideas in the Seattle area. We believe in the value of community, creativity, identity, and passion. These values serve as our strategic frame and guide our day-to-day operations and program decisions. All right, all the business is done. That was a lot. I'm like, woo! I'm gonna have to learn how to cut that down some. Michele, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. It's a very nice day.
Good. Yeah, I have yet to go outside. I will be outside in a minute to try to enjoy some of this weather. Everyone, again, this is Intimate Conversations. If you have not joined us before, I'm Dani Tirrell. I'm your host. This is a part of our programming at Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas. Every Saturday and some Sundays, I invite people to come talk to us and talk to me personally so you all can get to know these folks. Some of these people I know very well. Some of these people I don't know. Some of these folks I see from afar and really admire their work. And Michele, like we're getting to know each other, but I feel like I do know her, but I'm get to know more about her. And is her your correct pronouns? Let me just start with that. Uh-oh. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, because people be coming for me like, you didn't ask for her pronouns. So, like, don't come for me to y'all today. Don't, like, just that. Each guest I've asked this question and they've answered this question. Black love looks like, and I will read Michelle's response. Black love looks like incomparable support. Black love looks alive, golden, and vibrant. Black love is coated with sweetness and warmth. Um, Thank you for that. Um, I like that. Black love is coated in sweetness and warmth. Why is that for you, Michelle?
Well, I feel like I feel really loved when I'm around my Black friends. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very, I feel like it's very different in that sense as well. So
Right.
to say that it's coated with sweetness and warmth, that's how I feel like that's what I receive when I'm around my Black friends who I know love me dearly. Like it's such a sweet love, and I feel very warm inside and on the outside.
I love that. You are Black love. I just want you to know that. You are that. My very first question is, and I don't know people be tripping over this question, but I'm gonna ask this question. You ready?
I'm scared. What's the question?
Don't be scared. Um, who are you bringing into the space today, and what are you bringing into the space today? That's everybody's response. Ooh.
I feel like I am working on bringing my full genuine self into everything that I do. So that is who I'm bringing, my full genuine self, especially because I'm comfortable with you, and I love the idea of like talking, just a conversation, not really about anything. Like it's just let's see where the conversation goes. Like let's ask questions, but it's,
Right.
we'll see where it goes, and I love that. I feel like I like conversations like that also.
Yes.
And like this too. But yeah, I forgot what the question one more time.
Who and what are you bringing into the space today?
There it is.
Yeah, they're both. Who and what?
What? I feel like I start my sentences like that all the time. I feel like, oh, hi, Randy. What I'm bringing is positivity.
Good. I love that. I love that. It's and people out there when we this is season number 2 of Intimate Conversations, and I was thinking of like what do I want to ask people, and so answering that question of just like Black love looks like is that thing of just like at times we forget that Black love exists in a particular way and how it shows up in different people. Michelle's version of Black love may look different than my version of Black love. And just to be reminded that it's all valid. And yes. And that, like, who are you bringing into the space and what are you bringing into the space? Because what I'm realizing, and thank you for saying you're bringing your full self and you're learning that, because that is the thing that I'm also learning is to bring my full self into a space. Because it is not fair to ask anybody to leave any parts of themselves out. So thank you for that reminder, Michelle. And again, that question is like we bring so much into a space that we never realize what we actually bring into a space. We just kind of bring it in, and be it positive or negative, we leave it into the space, and we're not aware of that. So just asking those questions. So then this also guides our conversation, and this guides like how we move through. So that is why I ask those questions. So, Michelle, what brought you to Seattle? I know, but if other people don't know, they should know.
I moved to Seattle to dance with Spectrum Dance Theater under the direction of Donald Byrd. That was the only reason why I moved here.
You're like, that's it. That's it.
Yep.
And talk about your time at Spectrum. Like, what are you learning about yourself working with Donald Byrd? I've interviewed Donald Byrd before. And this is a man who has a long track record of very beautiful work, a lot of accolades, a lot of awards, a lot of notoriety. And what is that like for you coming in? I think you just graduated college, correct?
Yeah, I graduated in 2017. So
2017, so a year after.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. And how was that for you, like walking into this space with this Donald Byrd character?
What to expect? Like, I had heard from teachers at school, like, oh, he's crazy. He's a crazy man. He's, you know,
Right.
And it's like, I kind of come from that kind of background of like crazy teachers, I guess, if you want to put them that way. But walking in, I really didn't know what to expect. I feel like I learned that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was.
Right.
Because I feel like because I'm so emotional and I'm so sensitive, sometimes that can make me feel like I'm weak. But it's not that. It's not weakness. Like, I'm actually a lot stronger than I think I am. And I love that I realized that through dance, you know, because also it applies to that as well. Like, I'm capable of a lot more than I think that I am. And I have to trust myself a lot in his.
Right.
And then, you know, that equates to real world trusting yourself more, just walking the street.
Right. Thank you for that. And one of the things that I've seen several pieces from Spectrum Dance Theater and Donald Byrd, and a piece that sticks out that really prominently showed you, of course, was Strange Fruit. And I've seen you do other work from Donald Byrd, but that piece, just one as a Black person viewing the piece, as a Black artist viewing a piece, watching other Black artists viewing a piece, it was like one of those things where you just want to run and grab you all and just be like, no, stop. What was the experience for you doing that particular piece, like from rehearsal to stage? Because I know, like, I've heard some of the stories from you all that it was pretty intense, but what was it truly like for yourself?
It was very difficult, and it still is very difficult. I feel like it's still something that I'm still processing to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so layered. Like you said, it was the rehearsal process alone.
Right.
Putting up with that for a certain amount of weeks, and then having to perform it 4 times, plus, you know, seeing the set for the first time and all of those. So because I feel like because it was so layered, it was very difficult. I had never experienced like that in my life, like any type of piece that really took me to another place. Like, I was not in 2019, 2020. That's not where I was in that piece, and it was very hard for me to leave that. Like, it, and even being in Seattle and just being around so many white people and them looking at you a certain way, like you know, like I don't even have to really go into detail, like, you know. So it felt like I couldn't escape it, because it was like, it's my job, you know. I'm at Spectrum from 10 to 4:35, and then we leave and we're around whiteness. And then at the time, I was living with 2 white people who were disrespectful, rude, all around. So it just felt like I couldn't escape it. Like, it felt like it was there within me everywhere I went. So it was very hard. But I feel like through that, I tried to find ways to exit and ways to take my mind off of it. Very hard, but yeah.
And what is it? What does it build in you working for Spectrum Dance Theater, working for Donald Byrd? And we won't censor this conversation on Donald Byrd. Love him dearly, but just knowing that this person has a history of greatness, a history of failure, a history of things in between, and working with dancers, and you get to witness this. What does it, and what did it build in you?
It feels. You said, what did it feel like to me?
Yeah, what is it building inside of you, like working and witnessing this? Yes.
Building. Well, I feel like I need to think about that a little more. But before I answer, I want to comment and say the exhibit that they did of him at the Fry, that was the first time that I really was like, I feel like I was engulfed in his life. So like, I really got to like experience everything, and even with us learning the improvs that he did that later became the duets that we performed at the exhibit. It I don't know how to describe the feeling, but like you said, definitely felt like the history and things that he felt, how I can feel those things in different ways, in the same ways, because we
right.
in different times, in the same time though, but yeah, I definitely felt connected to him differently.
Yeah. I think the exhibit was really beautiful. It was it definitely introduced some things that I did not know about Donald Byrd. You talked about living in Seattle, and if you don't know, if you're watching, if you do know, Seattle, especially if you are a Black person, it is a really hard city to live in. And it is not saying that like Black folks are not out here loving each other, and there's some easy things about living out here, but there's also some really difficult things. You come from Philly, one of my favorite places. Like seriously, one of my favorite places. And Philly for me is just like
Lit.
you get your life in Philly. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you, when I was home, I was home for 2 weeks, saw 4 white people the whole time. That's
See,
4. And they were all together. So it wasn't like even sporadic. The same day, we were all sitting there on a bench. It was 4. That was the only time, 2 weeks.
yes. What is it like being a woman from Philly, stepping into Seattle? I'm from Detroit, and when I stepped in here, I was like, what in the entire hell? Look, if you come from an all-Black city.
It was definitely a culture shock.
Yes.
I had never been around so many white people in my life. Like, not even in school, I felt like there was a balance. At UArts, I definitely feel like there was a balance.
Right.
I feel like we're definitely black people and people of color were definitely there were less of us, but it wasn't like a dramatic, But here, I feel like it's such a dramatic. But then again, it's not. They're just not here. Black people, or I haven't seen them here, but like knowing after meeting people who are from here and meeting
right.
I'm like, there are Black people here. There are. They just got pushed out somewhere else.
Yes.
But I feel like I just went other places. But
oh no, this is why we have this conversation. You go wherever you need to go. Like I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to rope it in. Like y'all don't understand. Like this ain't it. Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm saying. Like it is Black folks out here. Recently we went back to Detroit, and the energy was just different. It was just different, and it's like people say things about like the Chicagos, the Detroits, the Philly, and scary, dangerous. But it's something about like living out here in Seattle. It is a danger that I can't explain that I feel walking down the street.
Yeah, oh my goodness, it's so they don't understand. Like they don't understand. There's so much wrapped up in being Black in America in general, but being in Seattle, like you said, like there are things that I feel like anywhere in America, but specifically here because there's so much whiteness and there's so many people who do not look like you
at all.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's sad that at times you can go days without seeing Black people in Seattle. Like that's real.
So draining. That's why I love going home. And my trip home was very last minute. I knew I needed to go home. I knew I wanted to go home, but like money wasn't right at the time. And then I was just very last minute with my ticket. I brought my ticket 2 days before I got on the flight. And I surprised my parents. Like they didn't know I was coming. Like it was really nice. And my mom was crying and everything. She was.
I love it.
I know. I love it too. But anyway, so but I knew it was time for me to go home. I'm like, I need to be around my friends, like close friends, like being in that area in general. Like you said, the energy is different. Yeah, I just knew. So
it was time.
It was time.
It was time. Right, and before you all like start hating, we are not hating on Spectrum Dance Theater. We're not hating on Donald Byrd. We are not hating on Seattle. Just let people live their truth, okay? Like, just let folks live their truth. Because I know folks be getting their feelings and stuff. And also, if you all feel the need throughout the conversation to drop Michelle some coins, I have pinned her Venmo and Cash app. Artists, we work our butts off and we do not get paid where we should get paid. So don't think you dance for spectrum and look. No, okay. And we're in a pandemic, so things are shut down. Artists are still trying to create all the stuff. So again, if you look down in the pinned comment, you will see Michelle's Venmo and Cash App. Drop her a few coins. You know that it don't hurt. You mentioned University of the Arts. Talk about that experience. I've been to the campus. I did a summer program there or something. Talk about that experience with University of the Arts.
I love my experience. I love my college experience. I wasn't originally going to go to UArts. I was originally going to go to Hampton.
Oh, okay.
I did a summer intensive the summer after I graduated high school, Bates Dance Festival.
Yes.
That was when I decided that I wanted to dance. So when I came back home, well, I had called my mom and dad when I was still there, and I was like, yeah, I don't mind. We already paid like for Hampton. Like one of my friends that I went to high school with was my roommate. Like we were set. I went visited the campus. I called them and I was like, I want to dance.
Right.
Yeah. And they were like, okay. So I worked, because that was like the end of August and classes start around that time. So I told Hampton I wasn't going, but I obviously couldn't start anywhere. I mean, I probably could have started like community or something, but you know,
right.
At the time, I just knew I didn't want to go to Hampton. So I worked at Chipotle for about that like semester I had took off, and I was still going to the dance school that I was going to, just taking class still, and I was even taking class at UArts because I had a lot of friends that went to UArts,
right,
and or even upperclassmen too that I would go and take class sometimes. And then I started in January, and I just feel like everyone was just so welcoming, and it was a place of love. It really was a place of love, and it's really, you can really tell that now after graduating for like 3 years. I mean, it's not long, but it's a little bit of time, and still being close with the people that I had experience with, especially because we've all changed, and we've grown up, but the fact that we still are able to remain friends is amazing. Like I'm really grateful for the people that I met.
That's beautiful.
And the team.
That's awesome.
And the training. I wish I would have taken advantage of opportunities more, like not just dancing and like, I mean, I took vocal privates my last semester, but like, I could have been a musical theater minor, like, stuff that I could have did differently that I wish I would have, but I'm very grateful for that place.
That's awesome. And you talked about your parents. How important is it that parents support their children, especially the creative parts of them? Talk about that experience with your parents. And you said, like, look, I don't want to go to school. I want to dance. So I'm switching it up. Was there pushback from your parents? Was it just like, you know what, we got your back?
Yeah, my mom said she was expecting me to call and tell her that. They knew before I knew.
Right.
But I feel like it's very important, because I can honestly say without their support, I wouldn't be. Because I just imagine calling, like if I called them and they were like, no, you have to go to Hampton, like what that would have done to me. Like,
right.
My spirit would have been crushed. Like, so it's definitely very important, because I just feel like if your parents aren't like actively and verbally, telling you you're amazing and you can do it, you might not believe, you might believe that you can't if you don't have someone that's, telling you that, especially at a young age, even like growing up into adulthood. Like,
right.
It's very important. It's very important to have your support.
I love that. And
don't, because there are a lot of people who don't have, I can't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine not having the support of my parents. And there are so many people who can't imagine having the support of their parents. Like,
right. It's I tell the story quite often. I am a queer Black person, and I am thankful for both of my parents. I'm especially thankful for my father, because my father never in my life, at least to my face, I don't think he did behind my back. My father never othered me. My father there was never not support there. And again, I just think about like, as Black folks, we have to break the cycle of not supporting our Black children when they say they want to do X, Y, and Z that may be out of the norm of what we think that they should be doing.
Exactly.
If your Black kid comes to you and say, I may like girls and I'm a girl, or I may not know what gender I am, like, just say okay. Because we know. Like, that's the whole thing. We act like children don't know. There are particular things that I think we needed to be guided through. But for the most part, we know.
Our kids are so honest.
Yes.
So honest as a child. Like, they say whatever's on their mind and whatever's
right.
It's genuine.
Hello. Young people and the kids and the elders, they say whatever's on their mind. And, you know, in the middle of that, we get a little murky. We try to, like, please everybody. Right. If you a young child, you ain't trying to please nobody. If you an old person, you like, I've done that.
I'm doing it.
Right. One of the reasons that we're talking to Michelle, Michelle's, okay, so just so y'all can know what I feel about Michelle is that every time I see her, it is always a genuine smile and spirit. And that is very rare to meet somebody who they just exude that type of kindness consistently and that type of joy and beauty. So if you ever run into Michelle, I've never not ran into you without you smiling from a distance. And for someone who does not smile a lot, that means a lot to me. To walk up and see your face consistently and smiling. So that is one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Michelle. We just got to surround ourselves by beautiful people and spirit and just joy. So thank you for that. And I'm excited to say Michelle is one of our Showing Out artists this season. Woo, 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 woo. So you will get to see Michelle's work on the Showing Out stage. I'm super excited about that. Is there anything that you want to like give the people like a little hint, just drop a little nugget about what is in your mind and what you think you're creating?
We've had this conversation, but I'm working on the identity of the Black woman and what that means, looks like, and what that feels like. And what energy that exudes, and what energies it doesn't exude.
Yes.
The connection.
Okay, y'all. That's
all. Okay.
That's it. That's all y'all get. Because I want folks to like tune in and see the beast. Okay. So another thing about Michelle, I'm about to like just go. Okay. So there's two dancers in Spectrum currently that for me, them off stage and them on stage, it blows my mind. You and Nia.
That's
like, y'all are beasts off stage, but when I see y'all on stage, it is like a transformative moment. Like, y'all are so zoned. And then when y'all off stage, y'all just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I'm just like, wait. Again, I just want y'all to like, understand that Michelle is somebody I'm really excited about. I love watching them perform, and again, just love talking to them and talking to her and just moving through that. If you want to see somebody, like literally she transforms on stage. Like, I'm like, where's the sweet, innocent person that I see off stage? Like a beast on stage. So I'm super excited about Showing Out. What is a good, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying yes. What does a good time for Michelle look like? Like, if you just like, I want to kick it, and like, what does that look like for you? Let's move into some like non-work stuff.
A good time? It looks like many things. What I've been trying to implement recently is being consistent with my self-care. Self-care, I was talking with Akoy about this yesterday. Self-care is not just one, facials and like soaking,
right,
those things, because I love those things. Fat Tuesdays with my friends, yes. I love especially my friends. I love being with my friends. Any of my friends. Oh, Mary. I love my friends, and I love being around my friends, and I love drinking with my friends. I love a good turn up. I do. Is that so a good time? I mean, my birthday.
Yeah.
we was partying.
That's why I'm asking, because like, yeah, okay. So another thing about Michelle, like, I'm just gonna fill in some stuff about y'all, and this is why I get excited about like anytime I'm in her presence. Michelle can lay it down on the dance floor without it being a show. Like, what was it? It was y'all were all wearing white or something like that. It was at Nail.
Was that at David's birthday? The first.
It must have been David's birthday. You walked in with that white dress on. I was like, okay. And then she broke it down on the dance floor.
Oh.
Like, I mean,
I was doing it too. It's a community, and that's another thing that's like different over here. Like as far as like going out and stuff, like on the East Coast, everybody's usually dancing, but here it don't be that many people. It'd be like our group. That'd be it.
And then, so yes, I'm just about to just go there. Not only that, but then you were coming up with some looks.
Oh, David.
I'm still sure from that white outfit. Yes, David Rue. That's why I brought it up. Okay, I just want y'all to understand the power of Michele-Dooley. I just want y'all to understand that. And the outfits, like she will go out in some heels, and I don't mean like no little 2-inch heels. Like she would come out with some heels, and then she's like, "What did she just do? Like, why is she on the floor? Like working the heels on the floor." So when I tell y'all, like, okay, so a good time for you is a turn up.
Turn up, but it's also like reading up. I'm reading this. It's amazing.
What is it?
All About Love by Bell Hooks.
Mm.
I'm almost done. I got this much left.
That's a big book. I'm gonna have to get that.
I love it though. It's making me confront a lot of situations and current situations, not just big ones, but like friendships and family and yeah, it's nice. It's taking me a while to read though because I find myself reflecting after every chapter. Right. But it's really good. I definitely recommend it. I'm glad that Marco recommended it to me. It's a really good book.
I love it. What is when it comes down to friendship, because you mentioned friendship, and we have David Rue, we have some other friends that said Fat Tuesday or Turn Up Tuesday or something like that. Wait, what was the comment?
Fat Tuesdays, my friend Tiffany.
Okay, Fat Tuesday. We got somebody who love working with y'all. We got Randy. We got David. Hey, Tiffany. I think that was Mary. Like, we got folks. Randy says we stay lit. Yes, y'all do. My old behind try to catch up. And then sit down. What does friendship mean to you? What does it look like for you?
I feel like it looks like acceptance of all parts. Not just the things that benefit you, the hard parts. Because it's not like friendship, everybody thinks it's like an easy thing, but it's not. Friendship is hard. It's a hard thing, But I really feel like I surround myself with, like you said, beautiful people and people who accept me for who I am and, reassure me that I'm loved and cared for. And, yeah.
I love that. What is a Michelle hidden talent?
I don't have any, but I am starting to get really good at doing my hair. I am starting to.
Birthday hair with Slade, yes.
I would do these, but I gotta learn how to cornrow though, because once I cornrow, I can do like crochet stuff. Like but it's hard. I try to look up a tutorial. It's so hard to cornrow. I think I need to be with somebody who can do it, and I need to do it with. Yeah. I don't think a YouTube tutorial is going to help me. I think,
Right.
But I'm gonna do. I was going to wait till next week to do it, but I'm gonna do some spring twists. Oh, that's another too. I love well now that I'm able, because my unemployment took 3 months to hit. I was broke AF for 3 months. I was so broke, yo. I was so broke. And then it all hit. It all hit when I was in Philly. And I was like, I can buy the things that I need to buy now. So
right.
I brought me a little heated shower cap so that I can do like my hot oil treatments. Like I'm really going to take my hair. Period. Yes.
That crown, look, I am letting the crown grow right now. Maybe I'm gonna have to come to Michelle and be like, can you throw some braids in it once it get long enough? You can practice on me. I don't care. Like, once the crown get long enough, you gotta take care of that crown.
Yes. I would love to.
Yes, the pandemic hit. Things got shut down. As we know, people are just now getting unemployment. Some people still have not gotten unemployment and everything like that. What kept you motivated during the pandemic, if anything?
I feel like being able to talk to my friends. I feel like I keep talking about my friends, but I love my friends. Being able to talk to my friends, and even like living with Michele, it's like I feel like we're so different, but we're also very like, and we had this conversation like 2 nights ago. Like we're so similar. So I feel like that's why it works, because it's like we're not so much alike that it's, annoying, but also not so different that it's like polar opposites.
Yes.
We are. I love Michele. I really do. It's crazy because at school when we went to UArts, we always talked and we were in the same friend circle, but it was never just like me and him. But now you couldn't,
Tell that human I said hello.
Yes, he's at work right now, but
yes. I love it. Talking to your friends, yes, keeping that alive, because a lot of times we don't talk about, we talk about the hard parts of the pandemic. We know that it's really hard, and we know like that. But also the thing about like what got you through it, because as we know, people, be it they were sick and they died, or just depression, like they did not make it through it. What, and that was a question I just wanted to ask you, what got you, because you're such a positive person. My experiences of you is such a positive person, and so I'm just like, how did you make it through that pandemic? Because I'm not an introvert person. Like, I need people around, and fortunately, I had a house full of people, but still, it's like we also got on each other's nerves, because it ain't nothing like friends. Like, I love my husband, but it's like, okay, y'all, I'm getting sick of seeing y'all face. So just knowing like that, someone who always comes out with a big smile, like what got you through that pandemic?
I feel that because, like you said, I like to be around people, and it was to the point at a certain time where I didn't want to be by myself. I felt really lonely when I was by myself, and she talks about it in the book.
See,
how loneliness is not loneliness. It's, don't look at it that way. It's solitude. It's the time for you to be by yourself and not have any interruptions. Like, be by yourself. And I feel like this time definitely forced me to be by myself, which is something that I definitely had a hard time with for multiple reasons that I don't even really know.
Right.
It's hard. It was hard for me, but now, like, having the time to be forced to kind of do that, it made me appreciate it so much more.
I feel you.
I alone, my solitude.
I love it. Y'all, folks, we're getting close to the end of the time. Before I ask, it goes by real fast. It goes by.
Wow.
I know, like, but I try to make sure this is a taste of people. Like, you get a taste of folks, and you be like, oh, I want to know more about Michele. And then you do that research after you drop her some coins. You do that research. Venmo, Michele-Dooley, at Michele-Dooley-1 Cashapp, Michele-Felicia, $ Michele-Felicia. I'm just saying.
My middle name.
And then, move forward. But drop her some coins. Just before I ask you your final question, just some things. Tomorrow, we have another intimate conversation. I'm going back to back with Sire Barbaric. We will get to talk to them tomorrow. My husband is joining late. Why is he joining late? He just joining late. He right upstairs. That's all. He's just upstairs. But he just joining late. Tomorrow we have Sire Barbaric at 3 p.m. again on Instagram Live with Central Christian Forum for Arts Ideas. Also tomorrow is the 14th annual Urban poverty. I cannot speak. Poverty Forum, challenging Black voter suppression, presented by Town Hall, Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas, and the Mahogany Project, will be screening a 40-minute documentary, Suppressed 2020, the fight to vote, followed by a conversation about Black voter suppression and practical steps we can all take to confront it. Question, let's get political for a second. We got some more time. Let's get political. Why should people care about this election in Michele-Dooley's opinion?
It's crazy because I was just talking to my mom about how I need to like catch up and know, because I feel like I have a general understanding, but it's kind of based off of things that I was told to like or believe in. And I mean that's just things that I'm, it goes into like religion and spirituality and all of that as well, but definitely with the things that you believe in. So I watched, how do you say her name? Is it Kamala? Kamala?
I get it messed up too. Kamala Harris.
Her speech was really nice. That's the thing. Like she was saying a lot of things that connected with me because she's a Black woman. But I don't know. I feel like they're really trying to show that they're there for us as in Black people. But I feel like there's a lot of talking and followed up with actions. That's really the only thing. Like I watched her talk, I watched Barack Obama talk, and I watched Michelle Obama talk too. I put on Joe Biden, but I put on him first. But I didn't feel like listening to any White people, even if he is a. Okay, I wanted to listen to Kamala.
We're gonna get it right one day.
We're gonna get it right. I'm gonna look it up and get off this so I can start to say her name right. Kamala, Michelle Obama, and Barack Obama. I listen to them, and I just want actions followed. I want.
Yes, I think it's yes. And Kamala. Thank you, friend. What's your friend name? Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany, because I will jack up a name in a minute. I will. Kamala. It's Black folks be like, let me help y'all. It's comma and love. Get it right, people.
Yes, correct.
It is so important that we get out and vote. It is so important that we get out and vote.
And sorry, to go back to that. Yes, to go back to
that.
I was just saying I really need to start remembering the names to the podcasts that I watch and things like that, so that when I bring them up, I can reference it actually. But I don't remember the name. I was watching some podcast or something, and they had two group of white women that voted for Trump and white women that didn't, and they had them in the same room. The eyes rolled. They had them in the same room, and they didn't know like that's why they were here. They started off with like regular questions, but then they asked like, why'd you vote for Trump? And this white girl, she was like, well, I didn't think he was actually going to win. I voted for him as a joke. And I'm like, the fact that you can take the election as a joke, the fact that that's privilege in itself. So I feel like, and then Michelle Obama had even mentioned like, Trump is not pushing. Well, I mean, he's an idiot, but it's not his values and his beliefs that we are listening to. It's the fact that there are people who aren't voting for anyone, like nobody. So it is important. It is important to vote. I know that the candidates that we have right now are shitty. I really do. I honestly think that we need to just start over. Like the earth needs to start over. Black people have our own planet. That's how I really feel. We need to just have our own things and be by ourselves.
There's an article out, and I didn't read into the article, but like a group of Black folks during the pandemic just bought like hundreds or something acres of land to start building, and I was like, wait.
Yes. Like that's what it's a lot. It's a lot because I definitely agree with those things, but I also feel like I have trusting myself. I have the resources to fulfill those things. It's in our DNA. It's in our in us. We know what to do. We just got to do it. Every step, so many things have been stripped from us. So we have
exactly
to get to the root. We have to go back to the root and really, you know, indulge in that and not what things look like now after it's been whitewashed and all of that, you know, through time. It's
so true.
And that's why I love my friends, because we have conversations like this about stuff like
Right.
this. Like, you got to surround yourself with people who you can have conversations like this with.
Exactly. And you know, what was I looking at? The Tirrell show. If y'all don't know the Tirrell show, go to YouTube, and it's not me, not this Tirrell, another Tirrell, Terrell. I think that is how he spells his name. Just go watch that show. You will get your life. One of my favorite YouTubers out right now is Tirrell, but he was talking to someone about like who's on your team, and that has been sticking with me. Like, if you don't have people on your team that's supporting you and you can support and y'all are moving together, then you just need to get rid of them, no questions asked. And that could be family members, that could be long-term friends, that could be anybody. But if they are not about the collective moving forward of people, then you need to get rid of them. So that whole like collective mentality is like, you got to know who on your team, you got to know what friends you have around you, frenemies or not. You have to know that. Thank you for that. I have one more announcement. This month is Black August. Now get this, y'all. Go ahead, say it.
I gotta say one more thing.
No, this yours. Go ahead. I'm just doing my duty.
Okay, so my mom started a GoFundMe page for this woman named Sarah Collins Rudolph. She was the 5th little girl who was badly, because you know about the four little girls who were in the Birmingham church. They got 4 of them died. She survived though, and she lost an eye. Like she obviously she had some trauma, and nobody gave her anything. And you know, I'm not surprised. I mean, you see how they treat us now. That happened in the 60s. That it was definitely not giving a f about her then. And my mom started a GoFundMe page, and it reached a goal of 3,000. But she raised it to 5,000. So I was gonna try to drop that, or if anybody.
Oh, please drop it. Yes, please put it in the comments if you can.
Oh, I think I gotta. Oh, let me go through my iPad, because I think I took.
So as you're doing that, let me talk. And this is exactly what Black August is about. Black August is all about Black giving to organizations. And so what we're doing at CD Forum, we are we're raising money. We just brought on a youth curator that me and the team will be mentoring. The youth curator will be working directly with me and other team members. We are raising $5,000 to support our youth curator, but we are also within Black August supporting other Black-led and ran organizations. This is Black Giving Month. Yes, Michelle, you are always looking out for others. I love that. So Black August, please use Black August as an opportunity to support Black-owned and Black-led businesses and orgs in our community. Again, we're raising $5,000 to help support our youth curator. You can find out more information and the link to our Give 828 fundraising campaign on our Facebook event page and our website. Please do what you can to support Black-led, Black-owned businesses. Yes. I always talk about how you drop Michelle some money, but it's so important that during this time that, as we know, Black folks have the least amount of resources, financial resources, resources to healthcare, resources to good food. So whatever that you can do to give, please give. Our art community is suffering a lot. Michelle is a beautiful, beautiful, fantastic artist. We want to support her work. We are doing what we can at CD Forum to support her work. And I do ask people to support this beautiful person's work. This is someone that I believe in. This is someone that once you see them perform, you will be changed forever. That is what they bring to the stage. And they work extremely hard on and off stage. So when we talk about Black August and I talk about giving, I may say it in a joking way, but this is something I'm really serious about especially Black artists. We are more innovative than most. we move things forward more than many people. And so please do that. Michelle, do you have the information for the GoFundMe?
I believe so. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna write it in the thing what the search is.
Yeah. And also, if you can email it to us, we will make sure that we get that information out on our City Forum platforms. Go ahead, write that information in.
Almost done.
Michelle, you are iconic, and Seattle is literally lucky to have you here. Thank y'all both for this. You are welcome, David Rue. Yes, we do not have many Black dancers that are women. Yes, we do not have many Black dancers that are women in this city. And the ones that we do have, we need to make sure that they stay in the city. The exciting thing about showing out is that the entire cohort is Black femmes, from cis to non-binary to everything that you can imagine. I'm super excited about this. You're going to see some badass stuff on the stage, and Michelle is going to be one of them. Last question. I'm like, now I have so many other questions. Maybe we just have to do another talk in some other way. My last question for you, and Michelle put the information down. Support Sarah. Let me find it. Sarah Collins Rudolph. And again, we will try to make sure that we have that information on our City Forum platforms and make sure we get it out to everyone so you can support Michelle's mom. What's your mom's name? Let's give her a shout out.
Teresa Dooley.
Teresa, let's give a shout out to Teresa and her efforts. Again, this is a Black woman helping another Black woman who went through something horrific and tragic. If you don't know about the 4 little girls with the church bombing, please look that up. Do the research. Please, I'm down for a Michelle Part 2 convo. I am down for a Michelle Part 2 convo also. Yes, people. Okay, so I heard you people. Michelle, we're going to put this on the books, and then I'm going to have other questions. We're probably going to be like a little bit more intimate and personal.
Yes, we can do that.
You know, yes, this is what I was being on my best behavior, but we may get into some other stuff in conversation Part 2. That would be like a nighttime, put your kids to bed conversation.
Absolutely.
Yes. Michelle, what is your joy?
What is my joy?
Yes.
What is my joy? Is that like what brings me joy, or what?
It's open.
I feel like my joy is being alive and be alive, because that's not something that a lot of people who look like us can say. Being alive and living each day with knowing that my life matters. That's my joy. That's my joy. Yes.
I am not going to ruin my makeup right now, people. Because anyone knows me knows that I'm really emotional. And Michelle, you're not about to do that to me right now. I just thought about this though. The next conversation we have, I want to do it in person. Yes, we will make sure we put in distancing measures to make sure that, but it's something about being in person with you that, so we gonna make that happen. Just stay tuned, folks. We're gonna make another conversation happen when we're in person so y'all can get the full effects of us being in the same space together. It has been a pleasure, Michelle. Thank you. Any last words you want to tell the people?
Oh, so I have these things, these Black History flashcards. And today the one was Nina Simone. Everyone knows who that is, right? I didn't know that I never heard the song Mississippi Goddamn. I didn't know that was the one that I thought it was Strange. Even though I know she didn't write Strange Fruit, I thought it was Strange Fruit is that was, you know, the one that she did the cover of that, you know, racially, you know, all of that. But I meant to put the song on before we had this conversation, but yeah. So Nina Simone, if you don't know who that is, look it up. I hope you do.
I was freaking out with you, brother, because I am like the biggest Nina Simone fan. That's why I was just like, that just made my day.
Oh, hey.
Like, for real, like, there's probably not a piece of work that I create that I'm not bringing Nina Simone inside of it. We can't say it.
I ain't gonna say nope.
We can't say it. Y'all have to tune in November. Tune in November, and then you'll know why we can't say what we can't say. Michelle, have a beautiful day. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. This was really made me.
Yes, we'll have to do an in-person, just hang out without cameras.
Absolutely.
But without like this. We can take pictures.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. All right. You have a great day. Thank you all. Tomorrow again we have Sire Barbaric, 3 p.m. again. Check out Michelle's social media handles are what, Michelle?
At Michelle with 1 L _ my bell with 2 L's _ and then Facebook is Michele-Dooley. Twitter is the same as Instagram, Michelle _ my bell _ but on Twitter there's no E at the end of bell because that was someone else's name, I guess. So,
how dare them?
How dare
right.
them?
Right. Check out Michelle on all of her handles, and we will see you all tomorrow. Same time, different date. All right. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.
Mwah.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.